This is part of the TLC series. This is series 6, the TLC hopper. What I've done with the hopper pattern, because it's fished in the surface area, I actually like to run either a red or an orange underbody before applying the half-round micro body glass material. This does thicken it up somewhat, but I like to have a tag in the surface area, especially on the fall patterns. I like that hot orange tag or fluorescent red tag. Both will work. And a tag of green or chartreuse for the springtime is also very effective. So I'll just take looser turns coming forward. And we just do a quick little whip finish here. Staying near the back, the flat spot on the bend of the hook. And now I just take the half round body glass. Again, I'm tying on a clink hammer because of the comma shape that is so effective. I guess it helps if you mount your hook properly in your vise. Again, tight turns, stretching out the material as you progress down the body. You can see it's brightened up the body a fair bit. And looser turns moving forward. Signify a rib. And tune-up whip finish right at the eye of the hook, or on the shank of the hook. And that's our body. Again, 12-aught nano silk is what I'll be using for this hopper. And we'll just start that behind the eye of the hook, move forward, progressing to the back, lashing in some of the material with the half round, and we'll tie in the wing case. Again, preparing 2.5 mil foam. It's a Booby foam, so it's an open cell foam. It will float all day. And we'll just lash that down nicely. And then I'll use this knotted knee material. It's a lot easy. You can tie your own knotted knees if you choose. I just find it for the cost, it's just as easy to go with pre-tied, pre-perched for the purchases. Just, to me, it just makes sense. We'll run 3 legs on one side of the pattern, centering them, and 3 legs on the opposite side, 3 knotted knees on the opposite side. Put that in nice and evenly. Make sure again it's centered. And trim the butt ends just shy of the eye of the hook. and lash that all in. Just the touching turns as we move forward. Clean that up. At this point, one of the things I like to do is either run a poly dubbing or the Hems Spectra Dub is probably one of my favorite materials to use. It comes in a full spectrum of colors, and I like to use the Peacock. It's black and a little bit of green material in it, and I just thinly dub this on for the thread. Doesn't have to be overly tight, and we're going to loosen it off and flare it out somewhat. And throw in a half hitch. And take a dubbing brush and just brush it out a bit. And then pull our shell back over. Two wraps to hold down our shell. Come in front. Pull everything back. And tighten up with a 3-knot whip finish. Now this pattern, again, I fished on a team. My Booby fly being my point fly, which is also my indicator, and my fly line on the back end of the leader, on the opposite end of the leader, is the other part of the indicator. So everything I hang in between the Booby fly and my fly line sits in what's a washing line system. So I'll have, if I run dries, I can run that, they'll run on the surface, or emergers, they'll run on the surface, but if I run pupas, they'll hang below, and the leader will actually sag somewhat. So now that I have my Booby on one end, my fly line on the opposite, with these patterns in between, if there is a strike, I'll either see the Booby move, or I'll see the fly line move, or I'll see both move, depending the direction the fish goes when it actually takes the pattern. These patterns floating on the surface, I move exceptionally slowly, because they are to imitate a drowned or drowning midge pattern in this hopper style. That's why we have the legs. These flies begin to, insects begin to lay out and become fairly crippled up and non-conform to any kind of an actual silhouette that we would recognize as a trout pattern, but the trout certainly recognize a drowning Chironomid adult pattern or emergent pattern. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. This is the TLC hopper pattern.